For those of you who can't wait, grab our frozen cookie dough at your local grocery store and pretend you made them yourself. Or come visit us at our bakery in Eagan. T-Rex Cookie, because life's too short for tiny treats.
Meet MVP Logistics. Proudly rooted in Minnesota, they're like the perfect pass, precise and reliable, delivering excellence from their home rink to yours. MVP Logistics is your go-to team for logistics and supply chain solutions. With over 150 years of industry leadership, their expert team delivers customer-centric strategies with a commitment to winning. Don't play shorthanded. Leverage MVP Logistics to be your most valuable partner in supply chain. Visit MVPLogistics.com for supply chain solutions made simple.
Welcome back to St. Paul on St. Patty's Day here in the capital city of Minnesota. Right now, they score 1-0 in favor of the LAKings over the Minnesota Wild. Shots on net right now are 9 apiece, and our guest right now is a longtime broadcaster with the LAKings. And Nick Nickson, thanks for being here. And I guess you've been doing this for a long time.
I have been. My 44th season with the Kings. It'll be my final season with the Kings. Before that, 6 years riding the buses in the old American Hockey League. So I figure after 50 years of doing this, Tom, and still not being able to figure it out, maybe it's time to step aside.
And give somebody. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't know. I'm not even thinking about that yet. But it's exciting. How did you get into broadcasting?
Well, my dad was in radio, and when I went to college, I really wasn't sure what career path I wanted. And as it turned out, I went to Ithaca College in upstate New York, and I was a communications management major. So I took some radio, TV courses, some business courses. So if I didn't make it in radio or TV, I could, sell my own pizzas and maybe make a couple of dollars. So I had the radio background. I used to go to the station and watch my dad and the other disc jockeys, how they worked and how it all, came together and, ultimately what you heard on the air. And then my junior year of college, I said, okay, I think I'm going to pursue this. And the good thing about being at Ithaca College was that when I was a freshman, they had student-run radio stations, an AM and an FM. And the students ran them. And I was a freshman and I was on the air. I was doing like a 3-hour disc jockey shift once a week, and I would do a sports report for 5 minutes and prepare it, and you learn by the experience, right? And I wasn't 18 until midway through my freshman year, so the experience I gained in college was just huge. And as it turned out, I kept one tape of a game from college sports. It was an IC hockey game against Oswego State, and that was the tape I used to get my first AHL job.
Wow, what a great story. It really is, man. Just one tape you kept, and that was one of the
If it was baseball, you and I are not having this conversation. I'm probably making pizzas.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the LA Kings. Here's a pretty good hockey club right now and playing exceptionally well.
They are, and I think we're seeing a little transition in the leadership on the ice, the dangerous players on the ice. Over the years, it's been the Kopitars and Kempe, of course, the last few years. Drew Doughty. We had Dustin Brown, who retired a couple of years ago. Yep. And now I think the torch is starting to get passed to Quinton Byfield, who has to be the Kings' #1 center when Anže retires, likely after next year, which will be his 20th season in the NHL. So the fact that a guy like Byfield has come on, Kempe's in the prime of his career, trades that they've made this past year have worked out. They've made the Kings bigger and stronger, more of a playoff-tested team, hopefully. We played Edmonton 3 straight years. But the addition of Foegele, Jeannot, Edmondson, size, physicality, and Kemper's been fabulous in goal. I know you guys know all about him. This is his second stint with L.A., and his numbers, he was player of the week last week. His numbers are second best goals against and save percentage in the NHL. So a lot of things are working for this hockey team.
Yeah, they really are. And, it starts with goaltending, too. If you've got goaltending, you can win an awful lot of hockey games in Minnesota. Not that they've had poor goaltending, but the caliber of the play maybe hasn't been where they want to be at this stage of the game. But a lot of that depends on who's in front of the goal, too.
Yeah, exactly. And Jim Hiller now has settled in. Of course, we're on a winning streak of 5 games, and coaches don't like to change things when you're winning, right?
Of course.
So the combinations up front have been together for 6 games. The defensive pairs, you've got a left shot with a right shot. Doughty's back. He's healthy. He wasn't there in the first half. So right now, touch wood, the Kings are a healthy team, and if they can stay that way, I think a lot of people feel if it is Edmonton again for the 4th straight year, this team is better suited to handle the Oilers.
Because of what? The speed?
Size,
the
experience, goaltending, physicality, depth, all of those things.
Yeah, and that's what you have to have. I was talking a little bit earlier about the fact that you look at some of these teams and how big they are, especially goaltenders. I mean, the size of the goaltenders, they cover a lot of area. The guy I want to talk about is Anze Kopitar.
Yeah.
What a trooper he has been over the years now. In his 19th year, he's your captain, he's your leader after Dustin Brown left, and really has stepped up his game.
The stat I like to use about Kopitar, and I looked this up years ago, because for so many years, he was every year our leading scorer, year after year after year. And I think he's led the team in scoring 15 times. And the only other player in NHL history that's led a franchise more often in scoring is Gordie Howe. He led Detroit in, 18, 19 seasons. Of course, he played most of his career in Detroit. But to me, that's Anze Kopitar. We keep waiting for him to slow down, but, his numbers the second half are down a little bit. But Tom, you've seen him enough. He's the type of player that if he's not scoring, he still doesn't hurt you. Because over the years, he's been the shutdown guy, matched up against the other team's number one.
He can win faceoffs.
He can win faceoffs. He's leading the Kings in that again this year. On the power play, the number one power play unit. Yeah, in my mind, he is the greatest King of all time for what he's accomplished statistically, leadership, 200-foot game, 2 Stanley Cups. What more? What more do you need?
Yeah, when you think of some of the guys in the past, the guys whose jersey are hanging up in the rafters.
Absolutely.
They're pretty good
Dion,
players, too.
Taylor, Wayne Gretzky, who spent, 8 seasons in L.A., but came close to getting a cup in '93, but it didn't happen. Yeah.
You mentioned the cup, and, of course, you guys have been fortunate. You've won the cup 2 times, and that's pretty nice. And it's hard to win the cup, but people don't realize how difficult it is and what takes place. Once the season ends, you've got to win 16 more games over 4 different possible stints to win the cup, and what that takes, not just on the winning the games itself, but the travel as well. And you're going back and forth from different cities. It's really difficult.
Well, in 2012, we were very lucky. We barely got in. We were the 8th seed, and then we beat the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd seed in the 3rd seeds in the first 3 rounds. But we were up 3-0 in all 3 of those series. We were up 3-0 in the final as well. So we would win the first series in 5 games. Then we swept the Blues in 4, and we won in 5 games against Arizona. So after every series that playoff year, they had 8-10 days off to recuperate. And here's a statistic which is unheard of in playoff hockey. In that playoff year, all 6 of our defensemen played every single game.
Wow.
Same pairs night after night. As an old defenseman yourself, you know how valuable that is.
Old. Yeah, come on.
Oh, okay. As a good-looking defenseman, you know. As a good-looking, let me.
I know you have to.
I was wrong on both counts.
I want to get you out of here anyway. Nick, thanks for being with us. I wish you all the best. Congratulations
Tommy,
on a
thank
great
you.
career.
Thank
it's
you.
always a pleasure.
And we'll
to
be
see
around
you.
when you come to L.A. Hopefully, you keep it going for a little while longer. We'll be in the press room in L.A. and we'll say hello again to everybody.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom.
Right, thank you. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Just a couple of legends once again talking hockey for joining us in the intermission. Nick Nickson will get a gift certificate down to Tom Reid's Hockey City Pub, where they're not happy. The Wild are down 1-0 after 1 period of play. Hopefully they can turn it around in the final 40 minutes. But we'll recap the opening 20 next. This is Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.